It goes without saying, this is a really good win for us. Uh, the last three games that St. John's has played have been very impressive. And not just that they've scored the ball, but their execution defensively, compared to some of the games early in the season, it was much more of a purpose to what they were doing defensively. And you can just see the young guys grow up as you watch them on film from the start of the season till recently. So I was scared to death of this game. And fortunately, our guys were really good defensively the first half. I thought the shots they made were challenge shots, and our execution was good. We didn't turn it over much, and we were able to build that lead. And fortunately, we had the lead because we knew they would make a run, and fortunately, we were able to hang on and win it.
Questions for either gentleman?
Greg, can you just talk about Justin's performance tonight? I think it was his career high, and how much higher is his ceiling going forward?
Well, Justin's his best basketball is still ahead of him, and he just continues to grow and improve. A lot of it has to do with his work ethic and how he's understanding the value of competing on a consistent basis. As good as he was offensively the first half, he was equally as good defensively, and that wasn't the case the first 5 or 6 games of the season. His low post game continues to develop. We were joking in the locker room. He told me in practice a couple months ago, he looked at me on one of those days he wasn't having such a great day and said, "You're trying to make me a back to the basket 5." And I said, "No, we're just trying to add to your repertoire of ability to score." And to his credit, he's worked at it, and his patience down there, his footwork is really off the charts, and he's been a pleasure to coach, and obviously he's a special young talent.
Greg, after he redshirted last year, you weren't quite sure what you had coming in this year. Is he surprising you?
I think so. He might even be surprising himself. I don't know if he'd say that. But we saw Justin as a junior in high school, and to see his growth in really just a few years is incredible. And a lot of it, like I said, he loves the game. He willingly takes coaching. His teammates trust him, and that's not often the case with a freshman, but they know they can throw it up to 12 or 13 feet. He's going to go get it and get him an assist instead of a turnover. So it's he continues to just get better, and I guess nothing surprises me because I've seen the potential there in him for a long time.
You used the expression "scared to death" of this game. What exactly about St. John's?
Anybody who watches a Syracuse game was scared because that was a heck of a performance. And Butler beat Villanova today, right? I think they just beat Butler. So it was a team that was learning how to win and very confident in what they were doing. And Shamari and Marcus are just, they're really, really, really talented young guards. And they put pressure on you every single time. And when you have guys that can get to the rim and they have 5 guys essentially shooting 40% from the three-point line, it puts a lot of stress on your defense. And fortunately for us, we were able to run them off the three-point line the first half for the most part, and Justin was able to protect the rim.
Justin, when you see, like Coach said, St. John's killed Syracuse, they beat Butler, does that kind of wake you up so that you're not really too overconfident coming to this game? I guess how much did you take notice of that?
I think the coaches did a good job of preparation this week, and we were ready for this game. We started off practice with an extra 30 minutes of just getting back to basics and fundamentals, and I think that was a big key to why we played so good in the first half on defense. So I could just say we prepared really well for this game, and we were ready for this, and we came out with a win, and that's good for us.
Justin, how did you react to going ahead 24 to start the second half? And I think Coach mentioned you knew they'd make a run. How did you sense the team reacting to St. John's when it made its push?
We've been in that position before, but this is a totally different team. They're really aggressive, and you see with the press. We just wanted to come out there and just keep it on them, and then keep putting up points and playing defense. We came out slow on defense, but we got it fixed, and we came out with the win. So I would just say we were just focusing on coming out with the presence with a defensive presence in the second half.
Listen, can you talk about your evolution as a player? Did you start out as a guard and then have a big growth spurt? Is that why you can shoot it and pass it so well?
Yeah, I was a guard. I wasn't really that good at shooting. I was just chucking shots. But I got taller. People start telling me I was a post. I didn't believe it at first, like Coach Mack said. But we worked on those moves, and I guess practice and coaches did a good job of putting me in certain situations and drills and stuff where I can just develop and become the player I am today.
Coach, you touched on Shamori and Marcus before, but just watching from afar, how much have they impressed you, as first-year players this year? And I guess what kind of players do you think Chris Mullen has on his hands here?
He's got a great young team, and got a lot of really good pieces. And sometimes, I know they lost the big kid, but it appears to me that that's been addition by subtraction. Like, they're harder to guard without him just because there's more skilled players on the floor, where when they played him and Yakwe together, you could kind of muddy up the lane a little bit and plug things up, and now you can't do that. So, we recruited Shamari, and I watched him play a ton, and, his development from a year ago, from when I saw him in the summer, a year and a half ago, is really incredible. So obviously he spent a tremendous amount of time in the gym and working on his game and his handle and the floaters, and I just didn't know with his body how quickly you could do it in the Big East, and he's doing it pretty well for a young player.
What exactly about him, though, have you seen him improve maybe from when you were watching him to now?
Well, I think, he's still thin, but he's stronger. And I think his ability, I used to think he was a bit of a streaky three-point shooter when I watched him, and I don't think he's a streaky three-point shooter anymore. If you leave him open, I think you're going to pay for it. But you wonder when you watch a high school player, how does it transfer to the next level? Will he be able to slow himself down and play with the correct pace? And Shamari really does. It's hard to speed him up, and that's a sign of a mature guard. Usually young guards, you can get him in a hurry and get him maybe out of rhythm, and it's very difficult to do with him.
Justin, you guys had some 52 points in the paint and 8 or 9 dunks. You're playing an athletic team that has a lot of block shots. What was key in your ability to score at the rim?
We were just attacking closeouts and using our shot fakes, and we were getting to the rim, and we were converting, so that was really good. We just made the right play every single time, or most of the time, and it worked out for the best.
Coach, were you impressed with your guys' ability to attack?
Yeah, and partway through the first half, I think both, if I'm not mistaken, Owens and Yakwe got a couple fouls, so those are really their rim protectors. And when they were in the game, we were really cognizant of getting in the lane, maybe not throwing the flip up, but maybe going underneath them, using the shot fake a little bit more. And we told the team after they went out, we need to attack the rim now. Their two best shot blockers are sitting over on the bench. But they're a disruptive defensive team because of their length and their athletic ability.
3 more questions.
Greg,
Bill
the
Nelson. So you go.
The defense was so good in the first half, and it seemed like Thomas did a tremendous job on bounds. Can you talk about what Thomas did?
Kyrie's been solid for us all year defensively, and he guarded Josh Hart this weekend, and Josh only scored I think 5 points when Kyrie was on him. He's just really developed as a defensive player. His length, you don't understand and realize maybe how long his arms are and how quick his hands are until he guards you. But he's really committed to that end of the floor. He doesn't gamble near as much as he did a year ago. And I was hopeful that his length would give Shamari a few problems, and obviously it did the first half.
Greg, Villanova lost to Butler. What does that say about the strength of the league? That's Villanova's first loss in like 20 games, and just the overall strength of the Big East right now.
The league is really, really good. And, I think, probably 3 weeks ago, a lot of us would probably say, based on what St. John's has done so far and DePaul has done so far, maybe we got a couple breathers there. Well, then all of a sudden St. John's gets on a roll, is playing great. DePaul goes into Villanova, loses a close game. St. John's and DePaul were in a really competitive game this weekend. So, it's just, there's no easy games. And teams are, extremely well coached, and there's great players throughout the league. And sometimes it's going to be I really felt against Villanova. They made a few more shots than we did, and that's what it's going to be. I didn't see the game tonight, but my guess is Butler made a few more than Villanova did from the perimeter tonight, because nothing comes easy. It's just it's a really good basketball league, and frankly, everything we could have hoped for and more. Being one of the newcomers to the league, it's an honor to be part of it, and it's also an honor to do our part to make the league as strong as it possibly can be.
Justin, for a kid from Omaha, was there ever any doubt that you were going to go to Creighton, and how would you describe your season so far?
I would say the doubt was solely on me, like, was I good enough? But I got 7 inches, and I was automatically qualified for the job. But yeah, I've been playing really good, and it's all really just feeding on my teammates. I see how when the lights come on, Marcus and Maurice are just like ready to go, and nothing phases them. So I see they're the leaders for us, and I see they're ready, and they're ready, we're ready.